Alright, this is going to be a very different kind of video. I did one of these a year ago and people keep requesting that I do another one of these. This one is focused on all of the things that you can do within the game and changing your game with mods as well as in-game options. Specifically, we're going to be looking at, like I mentioned, mods, but we're also going to be looking at all of the options within the game itself. So we're going to be looking at the graphics section, we're going to be looking at the interface section, we're going to be looking at the in-game options section, and things that you can actually do within the game itself. In addition, we're going to talk for the streamers of you about how to do your audio correctly. A lot of things to go over. Hopefully, I'll put like there's little timestamps in there. I probably won't, so bear with me. I'll just do the best that I possibly can. Let's start off with mods and the mods that I find useful within Age of Empires and which mods I've kept around. I actually went through this entire list for you guys and deleted all the mods that I thought were not useful. If you want to pick up mods yourself, it's very easy. You go to the browse mod section, then you type in the mod that you want. Great. You don't find it. You look back, TC orbit. Maybe you go small trees. Oh, great. Improved small tree. And then you can subscribe to it. Then once you subscribe to it, it will pop up into your installed mods. And then you can use either the click on it to activate it or unclick on it. Now, sometimes mods will interfere with each other. So putting the priority high is important if you want that mod to function. That's why I have TC Orbit Mod Green as the highest priority. What is TC Orbit Mod Green? Well, TC Orbit Mod Green indicates a green circle on your minimap and will locate where the opponent is located only on Arabia. Why only on Arabia? Because on Arabia they spawn in a perfect circle. You'll see this is coastal and we will be slightly off. So yeah, it was not exactly on that circle, but close enough. Also, I just like that circle as a reference to kind of gauge where everything is on the map. I think it's one of the most useful mods that I have, and I highly recommend that you pick it up. NHK. Anything NHK is wonderful in my opinion. You should definitely look up in the browse mod section and you will have so many great mods from it. Look at just the number that I have subscribed to. There's some that I haven't. Ooh, this is actually not a bad one. Let's pick that one up. Boop, 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 boop. You can see how much N stuff I have. I actually had the pleasure of playing against, and they were not too happy as we TC dropped with 4 people in that game. Was quite funny. Talking about quite funny, Monster Boar I think is very funny. It only increases the size though of boars, not rhinos and elephants as well as piggies. It's hilarious when you see a monster boar running around. Don't have it active myself, but I do think it is fun having that every once in a while, as is Age of Cubes. Some people love this, some people hate this. I personally hate it. Don't use it. But worth picking up nonetheless. No embers. No embers might seem like a really strange mod to have, but if your computer is running relatively slow, this is a great one to pick up to transition quickly when you are either defeated or a victory screen or whenever those stupid embers appear. Also, when those embers start appearing, it indicates that your mods need to be turned on. Very nice one to have in my opinion. This is one of the only challenge achievement mods that I have. It's basically the little confetti when you research something. Very fun in my opinion. It's just a aesthetic thing. Why are my mods not loading now? Okay, it was just those two. Building foundation labels is very nice. Basically, when you place something down, you have a label of what it is by means of a pictogram. There's other ones like this. I think it is great. Idle villager pointer is a must. but technically can also be picked up within the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. I actually have two of them. I don't know which one works and which one doesn't work. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Have both of them activating. This one is another, how do you say that? Charismatic? No. Visual mod. It doesn't do anything, but you just have Doubt's face on castles. I think it is hilarious, in my opinion. There was another one I had with Sicilians coming soon. Very funny. They're just for the visual. There's a word that I'm looking for that I'm not picking up. No more plants. There's a lot of useless plants, and they always muck me up when walling. I just get rid of it. It's wonderful. Better display on the top. Very straightforward. Bigger huntables and bigger animals, I think, is worth picking up as well. I really like the improved palisades. It indicates which palisade belongs to who. They're slightly smaller. You can get it with flags or without flags. I like the no flag version personally. Vulu is very funny as well. This one is an auditory. Doesn't do anything, but it's just Vulu, Vulu whenever a monk starts converting. Very loud, can be a little bit obnoxious. Have it off at the moment. I don't care too much for all of the crimson blood, but if you want to have a little bit of extra blood, go for it. You know, good stuff. A lot of people, I think, use this particular mod, which is called Age of Mandala. It will show you not just the range where you are currently at, but also future ranges that your castle will be able to reach. Same thing for towers, and I think there's another one for Crepos as well as harbors. I don't care about it. I think it takes away from the visuals in my game. Better Civ emblems. It has the first two letters or two letters. It's not the first two, but it has like the actual lettering, not just the symbols. If the iconography is difficult for you to figure out what your opponent is playing as, I recommend picking this one up. Bigger minimap. If you're struggling with the minimap, this one just gives you a huge minimap. You can actually move everything within the game as well. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video because this video is going to be too long otherwise, but you can actually move the location of your minimap, the little villagers where they're being created and all that good stuff. I don't muck around with that too much. I think huge numbers is nice. This helps with shift clicking or control grouping. Normally that number is tiny. With this, it will be quite large. Some people really like the smooth grid. Arabia Green is another version of this where the terrain is just kind of smooth. It doesn't seem natural to me. Here's another visual one. This one is the better color palette. Quite like that one. Eye-catching relics. If you're missing relics, NHK does a great job pointing that out. The little pig pointer, also wonderful. Fish borders. I really like this one. It's a small thing, but knowing where the fish is, especially on water maps, can be quite useful. Monks carrying relics will be indicated with this, as well as when they convert with a little arrow above their head. I like this one. It makes the berries a little bit flatter. It's okay. I sometimes have it on, sometimes have it off. If you like unique trees, you can have this one. I like the pine trees. Actually, I should turn this off. I like the pine tree edition. This is one of the only mini-map mods, not mini-map mods, main menu mods that I still have. I like it. I had the samurai for a whole bunch of time, but yeah, you can even do mods on your main screen. Quite fun. This is the monk pointer that I was talking about. Always visible. Oh, maybe I have two of them. Turn one off. See, I'm even now still messing around with mods, and I don't think I can unsubscribe to this one. So yeah, there's the main menu mod for the new Royals DLC. This video is going to be way too long. It's fine. Let's quickly go over some of the interfaces here. Let's quickly add some additional AIs because there's something that I want to show you later on. Boop, 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 boop. Teams, yep, that's fine. Coastal is fine. Start it up. Oh, there's one more thing that I wanted to do. I need to have it on all visible. It wouldn't be a Poop Lord video if you didn't at least make some mistakes. Alright, here we go. So let's jump into the option setting over here. Specifically, I want to look at the game tab first, and then after that we'll go interface, and after that we'll go things that you can actually do within the game itself. So within the game options, there's so many things that you can do. For example, you can show the range, kind of like we talked about the mod of Age of Mandalas. You can actually have that displayed, but it will only show what you currently have. So if you only have fletching, it will show fletching, and then when you get Bach and arrow, it will show the increased range, not the range potential that a building has. Personally, I like show when selected, and what show when selected means is when you click on it, it shows it. That way, if you construct a whole bunch of towers, it doesn't become overwhelming, because if you have them always on, where is it? You can see that this is already a lot, and there's here, okay, there's 2 over here, and oh my gosh, and then you build like 5 more of these, and it just looks like, oh god, I can't even tell what is what anymore. So for me personally, I like show when selected. Scroll speed is a sensitive topic. Aha, literally. If you go up or down, I like to have it move nice and slow. But some people, they like to every single time you go somewhere. It drives me nuts, personally. So that's why I have it on that setting. No, not the options. Cool. This one I never knew about. So you can actually have it that when you double click, you only select idle villagers. So you see my idle pointer is on here. So if I double click, it's not all villagers, which I never knew about. But if I go into the game options and then change this to all villagers, I like all villagers. That way if there's some emergency and I have to construct a castle, I can click everybody and then I can quickly not have enough stone for a castle. That's fine. If I delete these, do I have enough? No, I still don't have enough. Quick, delete! No, not enough for a castle! Anyway, if you have some kind of emergency, you can just double click, even if they're already doing a task. And then you can quickly construct a tower and it will grab everybody. But that's a personal opinion. If you're double clicking your whole eco somewhere, that can be detrimental. The interesting thing here is that there are some mods that are also within the game. Now, I just have the mod, but if you want, you could potentially just click it on here. I have no idea how that works, but I figure I should just mention that small trees and idle pointer are options within the game itself, but the mods might interfere with that, especially if you're doing it double. Okay, moving on to the game interface section. A very, very popular, and I know I'm not going over everything. I don't care for most of these options, and hopefully you don't care about most of these options either. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Play around with it if you really, really care about it. You can have the health bar indicated in their unique colors, or you can always have them in a specific color. So look, now they're always white. Personally, I appreciate them being unique. I think there's other options too. I don't know where, but you can have it always on for your stuff. I think it's completely overwhelming and immediately turn it off. Talking about overwhelming, I always turn off the grid color, but you can have it so that it's always on. Now you can see it in black. Obviously, if you go into the other option, it's going to be always white. You can also have it some level of transparent. So for example, you can have it very, very lightly shown. I can hardly see that, especially since it's white, but it could also be black. Another thing that you can do is only for building placement, which might be useful. So you don't see it here, but then as soon as I go to place the building, then it indicates. That's actually kind of nice in my opinion. That way you know if you're making a wall or something in that nature, that it won't be a gap in between them. So play around with that, see what you like in terms of grid. There used to be mods for this, and then they just actually added them into the game. Can I just point out how beautiful my palisade walls are? This is the NHK mod as previously mentioned. No flags on top of them, but you know whose palisade belongs to who, and especially if you're doing a whole bunch of TC fighting and walling in opponents' resources, highly recommend picking up that modification. Alright, let's talk about one of the controversial ones, which is in the graphics section, and is the zoom. Zoom out and zoom in. So you can actually zoom quite a bit if you go to max zoom. I like having it on max zoom out, but some people prefer zooming in, and there's problems. Obviously, you can see when I'm zooming in and zooming out, it messes up the vision, but then once you have it to where it needs to be, it's fine. Some people say to me, Poop Lord, how come you can zoom out so much further than I can? And I think the reason for that is here. The resolution actually determines how far you're able to zoom out. If your resolution is too low, if your screen is too small, you won't be able to zoom out. Oh, there's something else that I want to point out. Remind me to get back to that. The fog thing is really, really bad, especially for streamers. When you see my fog of war, it's just black. But with animated fog, you actually see fog, and it's disgusting. Absolutely unplayable, in my opinion. You can also turn off different options, especially if your computer is running slow. Turning off some of these options might be worth it, in my opinion. You can even play it in like a windowed screen or whatever. I wouldn't recommend. I think you need every single ounce of vision that you can possibly see. Before I get to the fog section, I want to talk about some in-game option settings. If you hit on Alt and G, you will actually get team colors. So you can see that yellow here is on my team, and red are my enemies on the map, and blue is always who you are. Personally, I never play like that. I have the regular colors, but this can be very, very useful in team games. Just remember that if you're playing in a 4v4 and you're like, yellow, help me out, they might not actually be yellow. I know in this situation he is actually yellow, but you know what I'm saying. If I'm like, purple, come help me, and purple is, yeah, you get it, it's not actually purple anymore. You changed his color to red because he is an enemy. Let's just show you the fog things. I know we're doing a very comprehensive one. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Not all visible. Normal. Start it up. And then go into our graphics. Animated fog border. And once again, you can mess around with these settings. More or less animated. Let's show you the more. So now it looks bad in my opinion. And it's very distracting as well. You can see that when we're building, we actually have that grid showing up because that is one of the options that we clicked. Am I not doing this right? Oh, I'm just too fast. Wait, what's going on here? Are my hotkeys messed up? My hotkeys are messed up. Great. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's just quickly get through this one, I guess, and then I'll start sorting out my hotkeys. I'm like, there's something wrong with my hotkeys over here. Anywho, we can turn this to less or to more, and then you can see it's less animated. Personally, I don't even muck around with the fog. Just keep that stuff off, especially if you're uploading stuff to the tubes. Finally, audio. The audio is so loud. It's so loud if you're recording and stuff. You probably don't realize it because you just turn your overall game sound down. But if you're recording for YouTube, make sure that you're putting your general music volumes down. I think it's really, really useful. Play around with the sound anymore. Ask people on your videos whether or not it's too loud of a background sound and if they can still hear you. That was a long video. And with that, don't let your means just be dreams. Poop Lord, out.